workshop that I'm doing, four-part series for the creator class kind of thing. So in the month of September, I'm going to be teaching on every Tuesday kind of thing, sports and motion, a workshop basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. Are you just doing that like online or like actually like?
No, actually at the free space kind of thing. So the first workshop will be like an introductory, kind of like go over gear and settings and stuff. And then second one and third one more like hands-on, like going out and shooting some sports stuff, hopefully some motion, maybe some surprises in mine, but you'll have to come out and see. And then the fourth one, just a recap and like going over like some of the business stuff and just being a photographer in sports kind of thing. Yeah.
Was that like your first time doing like a workshop or like helping someone out like in that type?
Yeah,
So,
it's the first time I'll be teaching something, so I'm kind of nervous.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hopefully people come out and just learn a lot and have faith in me. Pretty much,
Because I was like, it's one thing shooting, and it's another thing teaching it. Like you have to know how their brain works to be able to fucking teach them. Oh man.
Yeah, like I'm sure with you guys, like whenever people ask you, like, oh, like how did you do this? And I don't know, I just did it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
There's no like rhyme or reason to like some of the stuff you do. You just do it, and then it turns out to be pretty decent. Or like, okay, like I might be good at this kind of thing.
Yeah, so like all these little things, tips and tricks you learn over the year, and then you just put it into a shoot. Like it's just just basic knowledge.
Yeah,
you don't
you don't wake up one day and you're like, okay, like let me just pick up a camera and do it. Like, gotta shoot, and then over time, like you'll know the different like tips and tricks and like the stuff that you feel comfortable shooting with. Yeah, it's hard
for sure. Sports, man. Because it's all about tracking. Because like I used to do like, I don't want to do quote unquote, but sports, which was like horse competitions and jumps and stuff. So I used to do that. So it's really about like timing to make sure they were perfectly, because it was like how they looked.
And like you also have to know the sport itself too, right? You can't just go into like, if I were to go into it tomorrow and be like, I don't know what's going on kind of thing, right?
Exactly, yeah. Like you just have to know exactly what's going on and shit like that.
Yeah.
Or else you're just shooting around stuff and you're like, it looks good, but they're like, this is not.
Yeah. And you hand it into your like client and it's like, this is not what I want. Yeah.
My form's bad. It's like, oh.
I don't know, like
same thing with hockey and shit like that.
For sure,
right? Like they look like idiots, but you're like, oh, that's a good shot.
Yeah. Well, like with the difference between hockey and basketball is like there's a glass in the way in hockey.
That's true.
Basketball, there's no glass in the way, so you can pretty much shoot from anywhere. But hockey, there's a glass, and then on the ends there's like a netting too, so you can't shoot from there either. So like hockey, it's like
they have like the little holes.
Yeah, the little holes, but like there's like 4 holes in the whole arena. Yeah, that's it. So like all the big photographers and the newspapers and the Getty images take those. So like the other guys have to like make use of like shooting from different areas too. Yeah.
And like last time I was at a hockey game, that was like a year ago. I was like, what the hell is all these flashes all the time?
Yeah. It's the strobes going.
Bro, I didn't know they had strobes. I was like, they're trying to play hockey and you see strobes. I was like, because I can't see it on video, right? When you're watching hockey games. So I was like, I didn't know you can actually not see them on the hockey game, but see them there. I was like, oh shit.
But like, if you pay close attention on TV and you notice it, you'll never not notice it anymore. And you're like, oh, it goes off all the time, kind of thing.
Oh man, that's annoying. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do to get a shot.
No, I know.
But like,
lots of strobes. Yeah.
Like, how do you play hockey? That thing like hitting your.
I guess you get used to it. Even basketball too, they use strobes too.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
What happened?
Okay, so I had 2 lights in the car. So I took them apart, because it doesn't look like the sketch I'm bringing them in, right? So I like put them all back up, and it started smelling like fucking burn. Like, what the fuck's going on? I opened my light, like there's just smoke coming out. I don't know what the fuck happened. And I think it's the whole actual socket itself. So I'm like, shit, the alarms, everything, like fuck, putting out the window, like fucking blasting everything, like shit. So now I got one broken one works. Like they're a cheap set, like they're just for shits.
Do you shoot with lights or like flash or anything?
Just an on-camera flash.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to buy like proper lighting setup for stuff too.
Okay.
Shoot more portraits and stuff like with nice lighting instead of just relying on natural light.
Yeah.
What camera do you shoot with? So I use my Works 1DX kind of thing because they have it at work kind of thing, but my own camera is a 6D.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sweet. I have the 5D Mark IV.
Yeah.
It's got the 6D Mark II.
Yeah.
I want to get a 1DX. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's heavy.
I bet.
That like even that thing with the 7200 on it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
and the battery. Grid.
Yeah.
it's overkill.
Way too much. Way too much.
Yeah, depends what you're shooting. You need it.
Yeah, for sports for sure. But like if you're not shooting sports, maybe like I'm sure like the 5D is good.
Yeah,
Oh,
Like what you're doing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like it works good for video.
Yeah. For video is great too. Yeah.
Do it.
Trying to get more into video.
Yeah.
Two SD cards, I think. Dual?
Yeah.
Or one CPAS and one SD.
One CPAS.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not bad for portraits or like weddings.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Born to Create podcast, ran by ACF.media, Toronto edition. This is actually our first audio-only podcast. So yeah, we'll see how well it's going to go.
Let's get it.
Make sure to check us out, iTunes, Spotify. Leave us a comment, leave us a rating. Actually does help a lot. Check out the podcast on Instagram at Born to Create Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ace, 20-year-old photographer, videographer, stealing Frank's shit again, content creator, adding in a passionate apple pie eater. Still need to eat an apple pie in an episode.
I know. Next one.
And this is my co-host.
Frank, I'm a photographer, content creator, strategist, all of the above.
He's an all-around good guy,
Oh yeah, steak and potatoes like usual. We add that in, a little gravy, couple Red Bulls, and we're all good for the week. So let's get it.
Here's our guest, Kishan. Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Kishan. Yeah.
He's a concert sports photographer, portrait photographer. He also shot the Kawhi Leonard Game 7 winning shot. Welcome.
How's it going, guys?
Going pretty good.
Enjoying Toronto?
Pretty
Enjoy.
good.
Yeah, the weather's been nice this week.
Oh, I know.
It hasn't rained yet, so
No.
I've definitely seen some crazy shit this week.
yeah, for sure.
It's,
when the weather turns up, the crazy shit goes down.
Yeah, well, we kind of made the mistake of going to the east for a whole week, for a whole day.
Yeah.
So that was.
Hobo shaving his head
Oh yeah.
outside of McDonald's.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a dude with a lip joint walk into McDonald's and start filming.
Oh. Okay. Last night, I got off work and then I was waiting for the streetcar and a guy came up to me very close to me. He's like, "Hey, I'm a crackhead. Do you have like $5 and change?" Like, no, man. Like, he was honest though, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'll give him that, but I did
Yeah.
not have $5 to give to fuel this crack habit.
Oh man.
That's Toronto.
Yeah, you don't really get that in Ottawa.
Really?
Not that.
Well, it depends where you're at. Burrito Street's the shit.
Yeah.
I hear like everything like shuts down pretty early. Like if you try to get food from some places, like it's just closed.
Generally 10.
10, like that's pretty early, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Like McDonald's is normally 24/7, and everything else is pretty much 10.
Well, it depends though. Like during the summertime, or if it's like weekends, like I know Milano's like old pizza places. They're like 24 hours because everybody's drunk and eats food, right?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, we had McDonald's like on one of the worst streets, like gang related, like all at the front there. Now and then they had security, like they should started implementing security, but they were low on budget, so they were using staff as security.
Oh,
Staff was like, "Fuck you, no way." So now it's like shut down early. I think now it's like they should close at like 10 or 11 instead of 24 hours.
Wow.
Like,
yeah, but you can't staff.
bro, we had raccoons in there. We had raccoons in there.
There's a fight
2014.
going on. Some dude literally pulled out a baby raccoon.
That's crazy.
That's Ottawa, bro. That's a highlight. That's a highlight of Ottawa.
Anytime says anything, yo, someone pull out a raccoon, man.
You can't top that. You can't top
Like,
Canadian, bro.
yes, pulling out a gun would be worse,
but a raccoon.
but it's not as crazy.
No.
Like a raccoon says, who cares to baby raccoon with them? It's just stupid.
I'm getting the fuck out of there.
Well, it's like somebody we know. Like, oh man, I'm not gonna say any names, but like somebody we know has like a garage full of raccoons right now, and she's just starting to feed them. I'm like, why?
Pet
Like,
raccoons?
yeah,
That's
just like
pretty
crazy.
much.
sure.
It's
Like
like she's a cat too.
Yeah.
Oh, the cat just chills with the
Just
raccoon.
chills.
chilling. I'm like, all right, whatever.
And like every couple months, I see on a story like a new raccoon comes
Yeah.
in. It's just
a home.
I mean, that's one way of getting rid of your garbage. You got to, because that's just every 2 weeks to pick it up.
Yeah.
So might as well.
in the in between weeks, you know.
Very true. All right, well, back on topic.
Let's talk,
Shout out the raccoons.
let's talk a little bit about you.
Yeah.
What was your childhood like?
Pretty standard. I grew up in Brampton, Ontario. Do you guys know where Brampton is?
Yeah.
I'm from
Okay, shout out
Yeah.
Brampton. Yeah. So I lived in the same house all the way through. Like went to middle school, high school, like all that fun stuff. Not too much. Like I didn't start shooting until after my first year of university.
Oh, okay.
Kind of thing. So yeah, I grew up. I played sports. I played hockey, some baseball. But yeah, like didn't really know what I was gonna do with my life. Like I like video editing and I played around with Photoshop and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I didn't really know what I was gonna get into once university started. Yeah.
So how do you kind of make the transition into shooting like more basketball?
Yeah,
Since I know you love hockey.
Yeah. So it's funny how I even started shooting sports. So during school, like my first job, I guess, in the sports industry was working for Field Hockey Canada during the Pan Am Games. Like you mentioned before, like you're shooting equestrian, right?
Yeah.
So I was shooting field hockey. Had no clue what field hockey was like. Like I know I like hockey, but I didn't know how field hockey works, kind of thing. But like I started with that. It was more like a communications kind of media communications and that kind of role. So like doing graphics, some photography, some video, a bunch of stuff, right? And that's what I pretty much do today. Anyways, so yeah, shot some field hockey and stuff like that, and that was my first experience shooting with sports.
Okay.
But I got into photography through music, actually. And I used to go to local concerts with my friends and stuff, and one was a shooter as well. And he used to get into these concerts for free, right? Because he took photos and then he would email bands, their publicists and stuff, and be like, oh, like, I'm a photographer, I do this, like, would you guys want me out for your shows, kind of thing? And they would give him media passes and stuff, you know, get to shoot shows, and I thought that was cool, right? So in that group of friends, we started like a blog kind of thing, and we interviewed bands and artists and stuff like that. I mostly did video kind of thing, so it was the cameraman, because like my other friend did photos, so I didn't want to kind of step on his toes kind of thing. But after a year or so, I thought like, hey, like I'm at these shows, I have a media pass, let me just try photography. Yeah. It kind of went from there, and then shot a few festivals, and then going back into the sports thing, like in my third year of school, I got an internship at TSN through my graphic design kind of. So like during the Jays playoff run, I think it was their wild card game, Edwin Encarnacion hit a home run. I threw together like a quick kind of graphic edit of it, put on Twitter, tagged a bunch of like sports outlets kind of thing, and TSN kind of picked it up, and TSN and Bardown kind of they're kind of the same thing, and then Bardown retweeted it, and then my boss at the time, he DM'd me saying like, hey, like loved your edit, like we might have an opportunity for you, kind of thing. So got in there at TSN. It's a wild story, right? Like that's like social media at its finest, and like most of my jobs have been through social media, which is crazy. But yeah, like did that, and then I was working in like the social department, I guess, too. So we would get sent to events like Toronto FC games and stuff like that. So I would bring my camera along with me, and then that was kind of my way of getting into shooting sports, because I was there, and like why not? That was my way of contributing to everything.
Yeah, that's sick. So what'd you do for university?
So I went to Ryerson. I did sport media at Ryerson, kind of thing. And it was, when I started, it was the first year of the program. So when I graduated, it was like the first class of like students coming out of sport media at Ryerson. So going into that program, I didn't know what I was going to do. Like I didn't know if I wanted to do like graphic, because my thing was like graphic design kind of. Yeah. So I was thinking maybe graphic design or like video editing or stuff like that. But I do a bit of everything now. So it works out pretty cool.
That's funny. Yeah, you see similar paths.
Yeah. Brampton, I did graphic design for 3 years, Algonquin, and then I graduated, and I'm like doing photos and videos now.
Yeah, so and that's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and you like doing all three still, kind of thing?
Yeah, like I'll still do graphic design. But like I just what I hated was sit on the desk all day long.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's my thing.
So I was like, I love doing it, but if I can mix in me going out and shooting or doing video and then put it all together, then hell yeah.
So yeah, I'm at Yahoo now and doing all that kind of stuff. Video, and then they sent us out for the playoff run, which is amazing. Doing graphics, video, photography on the road, and it's like, this is like the best job.
It's like everything you want to do. It's just content.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's why I say like it's content creator. That's what you do. You do everything.
Yeah.
That's great. So did you go to every single Raptors game then?
Every single game except the 2 road games in Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was at every single game except those 2. Yeah.
Damn, that's wild.
So we went to Milwaukee, Philadelphia, San Francisco. Crazy.
Did you get time to like shoot around in those cities, or was it just?
Not much, because like on the off days the team practices as well, kind of thing. So you have to go down to the practice and do all the work after. Like we got to go out at night, kind of thing, kind of just explore the city. Like Milwaukee, there's not much going down. Like we went to a bar one night and they were like playing poker in the bar. I'm like, pretty sure this is not allowed. This is like gambling, right? But we played poker in a bar in Milwaukee. Like we actually played and we lost $10. Whatever. Like the story is true. Yeah, exactly. So Philadelphia was cool too. There's lots going down, and like at the time there were still like exams and stuff going down. So there's a lot of students too in the area, and it was cool. And then Oakland and San Francisco, cool as well. Yeah.
What was shooting your first Raptors game like?
It was crazy. Like my first basketball game was a Raptors game, right? So and that was my first time at a Raptors game too, like shooting. Yeah, so like it was not last season, but the season before. Opening night against Chicago was the first time I shot a Raptors game, kind of thing. And at the time, like I didn't know what was going on, kind of thing. Like, and because I didn't have a floor spot, kind of thing, and like I never have a floor spot, right? So I'm just roaming around the arena, and so like that night was more about like scoping out like what spots to shoot from, where are the best locations, and just figuring out how to shoot basketball pretty much.
Yeah, that's fair. Like a lot of stuff is just like in the moment, figure shit out.
Exactly.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. How long did it take you to get to like that level that you're like, oh shit, I'm comfortable. Like this is just like come in, shoot it, I'm good.
I think by the time the playoffs came around, like last year, kind of thing, like I was more comfortable with shooting. Like I didn't shoot that many games in my first year, kind of thing. It was just more about like whenever I got sent to games, I would do my thing, and then because I was at the time I was using like a 6D too, like it's kind of hard to capture a lot of motion without that burst, right? Like shooting at like 4 frames a second or whatever, whatever the math is behind that, but it's a lot harder to shoot with a 6D kind of thing, but like you make it work obviously, and so like in my first year it was more like portrait kind of things, but on court. So like more like just like close-ups and stuff like that, but not really action. By the time the second year came around, like I was shooting, but when I switched jobs, I got to use a 1DX kind of thing too, and so for the playoffs, more action-based and so much easier to shoot with.
Yeah, because I remember me when I was doing like horse competitions. Okay, I had a Rebel. XS, one of the first Rebels that ever came out, 9 megapixels, 7 AI focus points, and it was like what, like maybe 2-3 frames per second. So I was like, let me just get one shot every jump. So I would move, pan, time, and just get it. And I was like, all right, I got it right. You gotta shoot it, bro. Like it took a couple times, but like once you get it, it's like.
Oh, and it's like it's rewarding too, right?
Yeah.
But when you use like a better camera, it's like a cheat code almost.
I'm done.
You don't even have to think. You just hold it down. You're like, okay, one of these is gonna turn out, hopefully.
Oh yeah.
And then
automatic focus, everything.
Exactly, and then you don't have any excuse to.
Yeah, then it's just framing, right?
Yeah, it's framing at the end of the day. Yeah.
Were you given any advice going into your first game?
No. Like at the time, like I didn't really follow any sports photographers too, and like. In the community, I guess like there's some, but there's not many, and like it's at the time I wasn't like that big or anything, so like I didn't like reach out to anyone or like ask for advice. I just went into it with like a clear mind, and then hope for the best.
That's right. Did you do research before, or did you kind of just say
not really? I just went into it, like did my thing, and then the photos weren't that great, but whatever.
First time.
Just
cut it out.
Did you like learn a lot from that then? What are some things that you kind of learned from that?
Just like equipment going into it too. Like I wasn't even using a 70-200. I was using a 70-300, but it was like the 5.6. So like that it was very noisy photos and stuff like that. But like over time, like I got to use the 70-200 and like just using the right equipment for the sport and knowing like. Just what settings to use because at the time I was shooting with a slower shutter speed too, because I didn't really know like with basketball, it's like, oh, but like now I shoot at 1/1000th kind of thing, and like you just have to have those settings down to get like the results you want.
Yeah, like also knowing your camera.
Exactly, too, and the capabilities of it too.
Yeah, because you don't want to be spending like 5 minutes trying to like figure shit out.
Exactly.
Miss half the game.
Yeah. How does this work? Oh.
Yeah.
That'd be me going back to my old camera. I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's true. And once you get like with me with the 60, I'm so comfortable with it now.
Yeah.
Like I can go into any shoot and like use it, and then like the autofocus points or like whatever on it, but like you make it work, and like at the end of the day, it's not like the camera that takes the photo. It's the user behind it, right?
Yeah,
And if you can take good photos with any camera, then don't knock anyone for using that. Yeah.
Exactly. Like you don't need top gear, but it helps a lot for
Yeah,
results, right?
Yeah. It depends on your situation.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
For sports.
For
You got
sports,
no
yeah.
choice.
Yes.
So, what was kind of like your mentality going into Game 7? And did you think you were gonna get the shot?
So as a fan, like I don't like you want the Raptors to go through kind of thing, right? So it was more like a fan's perspective of it. And like throughout that series, I was like getting most of like the cool shots of the games kind of thing, like all the big moments. Like I got to capture them, which was cool. But going into games, you kind of just go in like even playing field, and like you don't know what's gonna go down. You're just hopefully you're in the right spot to capture that moment. And when it came down to that final shot, I was stationed in an area where I could have been on the other side, and I wouldn't have gotten that shot kind of thing, right? So it was partly luck and partly just knowing that something cool might happen from that angle. And like I know like from that side you can see the bench. The players usually dunk with the right hand kind of thing. So like if they did dunk, they would be facing the camera kind of thing. So like just like the little things that you pick up led to that moment, I guess. But at the time, like you're there, you're firing away, and then hopefully something cool happens.
Yeah, definitely. What are some things that you've kind of picked up then throughout the couple of years you've been shooting sports?
Just like shooting in Scotiabank Arena, I know like the different spots and just places to be, like I mentioned before, and like learning the game too. Like I wasn't that big of a basketball fan heading into shooting the Raptors and stuff. Like I was more of a hockey fan kind of thing, right? But then over those 2 years kind of thing, like I've become more invested in this team and like throughout the playoff run, and then now like I'm just like a basketball fan in general. Like I'll watch random games kind of thing, and just I want to embrace the sport more kind of thing. Yeah. So like, and when those teams come to town, like I know the players kind of thing, and like to get to shoot them is cool too.
Is there like any specific arenas you like better to shoot in?
So I've only shot in like the four arenas that or three arenas in total, or four. Yeah. But
like I don't know,
shooting,
is the lighting different? And
the lighting's different in like every stadium kind of thing. Like in Philadelphia, it's like really dark kind of thing, but like it's dark at the tops, but like on the floor, it's like nicely lit. Milwaukee's nice and bright throughout the whole arena, and in Golden State and in Oakland, it has like a yellow kind of hue inside of the arena because like the floor is yellow, and like even the fans are wearing like yellow t-shirts and stuff like that. So every arena has its different feel, and like there's different vantage points and stuff. But I really enjoyed shooting in Oakland kind of thing. Like I got to shoot like even closer than I did in Scotiabank, which was kind of cool. And like for one of the games, I was like staying right beside Dave Chappelle and Common. So it's like crazy, right?
Yeah, that's sick.
It's a crazy story. Yeah,
that's insane.
Jesus. So I want to talk a little bit about concerts.
Yeah.
What was like shooting your first concert like, and who was the artist?
Yeah. So my first like time photographing a concert, it was for a band called The Bane kind of thing. It was at a Danforth Music Hall kind of thing. Okay. In Toronto. So like they're like not like a pop punk kind of like alternative like rock band kind of thing. Okay, yeah. So like that kind of music, like that was the music I photographed kind of things in the beginning. So like the punk, metalcore, hardcore, like that kind of scene first. And that was like, I didn't like at the time I didn't know like settings and stuff. I was shooting with a pretty low shutter speed because I just didn't know what shutter speed to use, kind of thing. And like some shots turned out, some were blurry, kind of thing, with hands like moving and stuff. And over time, you just figure it out on your own, kind of thing. Yeah. But yeah, for shooting music, it took a while to get to where I am today.
Lots of learning.
Yeah, lots of learning.
And like, I think with someone else on the podcast we had, but like, usually rock concerts or like any like heavy metal are usually the most entertaining ones to watch, to photograph as well.
And like the lighting's pretty cool, and like sometimes they play in the dark, so like, what do? You crank up your ISO, or like I don't know, you bring up the flash. Like for the smaller venue shows, like definitely bring up the flash kind of thing. Yeah. Like you can do the cool like the light trails kind of thing with the flash too that people like to do. So you can get creative with it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So what's it like shooting a big name artist compared to like shooting the smaller ones? Like which one do you prefer?
Big name for sure, just because the production that goes into putting on a big show, like lighting and like the crowd and like all these different elements that make it visually more appealing. Whereas when you go into a smaller venue, there's not that many people. The lighting kind of sucks, and like there's nothing going on behind them, kind of thing. Like sometimes like opening artists will come out and like they're just playing in front of like nothing, like a black backdrop kind of thing. So it's like kind of hard to make it look visually appealing. Whereas bigger artists, they have more, I guess, budget and more production that goes into their shows, and so like you can capture the moments nicely.
Yeah, very true.
Oh, yeah, it's like, oh man, what was it 2 years ago or 1 year ago? I don't even remember my years now. When I used to shoot, like we did one concert or something like that. I had a T5. Tried to shoot a concert. T5 is pitch black, low budget, like a rap concert. Yeah. I was like, black and white, black and white. That's the grain reduction.
That's all you can do.
Oh man, because it's Canon too, right? The colors are just So
yeah,
it was my go-to. Just black and white, only way to get it done.
And if it's like straight red lighting,
yeah,
pink or purple. Yeah, the worst.
Whenever you shoot concerts, do you normally get in like through managers and stuff, or do you get in like through like Yahoo or like companies?
So now I shoot for a radio station called 93.5, Flow 93.5, and so they'll apply for me kind of thing through publicists and stuff like that, and I'll get to go in through them kind of thing.
So what does like going in through them allow you to do while you're there then?
Not much different than any other media kind of thing. Like when you're shooting concerts, it's usually like first 3 songs.
Yeah, I heard that.
And then that's it. Sometimes you get to stay, sometimes you don't, kind of thing. So you make the most of those 3 songs. Funny story though, last year, like exactly like a year ago, I shot Drake at the Scotiabank Arena with Migos kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that on your page.
And so I shot that, and same kind of deal, like first 3 songs, and then you're done, right? And because like of how a stage was set up, like there's no like pit to go in, and so like we had to shoot from like the 100 level kind of thing, like not on the floor, and it was like kind of brutal situation, right? So and like first 3 songs went by, like he was playing in red light, and like you're pretty far away, and I was like, this is not gonna be what I expected, right? And I knew someone that worked, like I went to high school with someone that works at the arena kind of thing, and he works for Live Nation kind of thing. So after the first 3 songs, we got kicked out and we couldn't go back in, right? And so I just texted him being like, because I saw him earlier in the night too, texted him being like, hey, can you get me back in and like get me on the floor maybe? And then he's like, yeah, no worries. Comes out like through the door, like brings me in, security asks like who I'm with, like I still have my pass with me kind of, and so he's with that, like, and then he brings me in, gets me on the floor, and I got to shoot all those shots that no one else got.
Those little connections.
So, exactly, like a guy I went to high school with, right? And like at the time, like just send the message, like if he says no, like big deal, go home after, but if he says yes, like all these advantages kind of thing.
So they like full on like kick you out?
Yeah.
Like you can't even sit and watch the rest?
Like sometimes if you have a reviewer ticket, like you can stay kind of thing. Okay. I believe I did have a reviewer ticket for that show, but so I could have went back in kind of thing. But then you can't bring your camera back in. So you have to like code check it or whatever,
Yeah.
and that's like a whole big deal, right? It's very risky, right? Like I hate leaving my gear.
Oh yeah.
With someone else. Anyways, went back in, got to shoot it.
That's wild.
Incredible, yeah.
That's wild. Did like, anyone end up reposting those photos?
Yeah, so Complex reposted it,
Okay,
and it went kind of viral, I guess,
Yeah.
on Instagram. But yeah,
That's pretty
cool.
sick.
Yeah,
That's crazy, man. You got some wild stories.
shit. But like that's just like just shoot your shot. Like
Mhm.
use your connections to your advantage, and you never know who will be able to help you out.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Kind of one reason why I'm doing the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There
You
you go.
never know where
You
things can take
Just
you.
message people, and you'll see where it
Put your
goes.
name out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Have you ever like personally met Drake?
Yeah. Last year, so when I was at TSN, do you guys know who Cabby is? He works at TSN too. He like interviews athletes and stuff too.
Oh, okay.
But Drake had his restaurant, Pick Six. It was like the opening night kind of thing, like a media night kind of thing. So Cabby got to interview Drake, and my boss at the time was like Cabby's producer as well. And so it's like, hey, yeah, like come along, you can take pictures and stuff too, right? So I was like, why not? Like,
You don't say no.
no, you're not
don't.
gonna say no, right? So like, night goes on, like Drake shows up a little late, like whatever. Like I'm not gonna go home.
No, yeah.
So yeah, they do the interview. I get some candidates like while they're doing the interview and stuff. I get pictures of them after too, two of them together, but I never got a solo Drake one. I was kind of like bummed out at the time, right? And so I was ready to go home after that. And so I put my camera away, like put my flash away. I was about to head out, and I was like, no, fuck it. Like, let me. I saw him over in the corner. I was like, let me go ask him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
To take a portrait of him, kind of thing, right? Took my camera out, flash on, like didn't know what settings were on, like whatever. Like I was just gonna do it anyways, right? And then go over to him and then ask him like, hey Drake, can I take a photo of you, kind of thing, right? And he doesn't say anything. Like Chubb, do you know who Chubbs is? Like his the guy that's always with him, kind of thing, right? He's like, hey, like who you with? I was like, yeah, TSN, kind of thing. He's like, yeah, just one quick photo. Doesn't say anything. He just poses. Take 2 photos. That's it. Left, and then check my camera. It's like, oh, these turned out.
Sweet.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
weird. I didn't like say anything. Like
Yeah, like he I think he nodded, and that's about it. Like that's all I remember from that moment, I guess. Yeah.
shit. That's crazy.
Still dope as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of my goals, man. Get a Polaroid of Drake.
Yeah.
Like I'm a huge Polaroid guy. I think I've taken 12 or 13 so far this trip.
Yeah.
I have 80 with me.
Gotta fill that out soon.
Gotta
Yeah.
use that. Like I'm trying to build a whole Polaroid wall
Okay. Yeah.
so that we can use it as the background. Of the
Yeah.
podcast.
That's still. Yeah.
So like I got a Polaroid of like every like kind of quote unquote like memorable thing
Yep.
and stuff like that, and like every guest
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But yeah, like,
Yeah.
so that,
I've been using a disposable camera lately,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
just
we have
got
a
on
couple.
this-
Yeah,
of those.
that's a new wave now. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. Like because like when you're always with a 70-200, it's hard to like switch out at the time, and if something happens right in front of you,
Mhm.
especially when you're using one body, it's like, oh, like, what am I gonna do? So like I brought a disposable just for those kind of moments, kind of thing. So like close quarters, kind of you whip it out quick, take a photo, done.
But even like it's discreet
Exactly
until the
that too.
flash goes off.
Yeah,
Just for the most
you
part.
have to have the flash on. Like
Oh,
if
yeah.
you shoot without the flash, like it's not turning out unless you're shooting like in the daylight.
Yeah.
It's not
yeah.
like if you're
You
in
have to
this
be
room
outside.
right now. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's my first disposable camera
Yeah.
now for a while, so we'll see how it turns
It's
out.
it's the new wave.
oh yeah. You wanna hop into lightning round?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So just like a bunch of questions that you should answer on top of your head.
Yeah, I wish we need sound effects, man.
I know.
Soundboard or something.
Yeah. Do you guys listen to the Joe Budden podcast?
A couple times.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a soundboard. Oh yeah.
I know Logan Paul has one too.
Yeah.
It's just like, you just gotta drop money on
Yeah.
that, you know.
Budget's not there.
Budget's not serious.
But it's tight for that.
You gotta get a Red Bull sponsor. Or
Yeah,
something.
I know.
Bro, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Almost.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Famous person you'd like to shoot.
Kanye West.
Best piece of advice you've received.
Shoot your shot.
Morning or night person.
Night.
If you could live anywhere, where would it be?
I like Toronto. Toronto's California. Let's say California. Yeah.
Alright. Dinner with 3 celebrities. Who are you picking?
Oh, Vince Staples, This is hard. Vince Staples. Let's pick an athlete. Go LeBron James, and we'll say Gordon Ramsay.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
At least you're gonna get a meal too.
It's my move.
He's cooking too.
Yeah. What's the best learning experience you've had so far?
Learning experience. Just put yourself out there, kind of thing. Like you never know. Like I mentioned before, like all my jobs have been through putting myself out there, kind of thing. And so tweet out your work, put it on Instagram, share it with people. You never know who's gonna see it, kind of thing.
Exactly.
So I recommend everyone to do that as well, and it'll take you places.
Oh, definitely. First thing you'd buy if you won $1 million.
Probably a car. I don't have a car right now, so yeah,
That's fair. Who would you call if you got put into jail?
My friend Ronald. Yeah,
Mac or PC?
Mac.
Everyone says Mac, man.
I used to have a PC before.
It's just industry standard.
I guess
you just hop onto it.
Well, like even phone, like I have iPhone too, and it's just easy, like AirDrop stuff.
I mean, I have phones, but
Yeah, you get stuck into the Apple world.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And what would you tell your younger self?
That's a hard one. Keep your expectations low, but like aim for all the big stuff, kind of thing. Like head into every situation with like a level-headed, and just aim for the greatest, kind of thing. So, yeah,
Definitely good information. Do you have any questions for us?
Like, what do you guys think of oversaturation in Instagram and the photography kind of scene in, I guess, Ontario? Like, you guys are from Ottawa, so like, what's it like there?
It's not too bad. Like, I find, I don't want to shoot shade at people, but I find everyone kind of shoots like the same shit.
Yeah.
And like that's why, like, in the end of the day, you want to be different than the next guy, you know. So that's kind of why we started this podcast. We have a bunch of other shit that we're kind of working on from the down low. Yeah, just definitely. I find it is oversaturated. Too much people are doing the same thing. Like, if you want to try and get out there, do different shit.
Yeah.
Don't copy people.
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay, Brandon Wolf has a style, this style. Let me try to do this. Just do your own shit, and then see how. Like, stop trying to be somebody. Be yourself.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Like, if you like desaturated images, if you like no greens, no blues, or whatever, do your shit or your angles. Do it. Because you like, people not might like it, but like it's your style, and if you like it, do it.
Yeah.
Like that's why like we'll shoot the basic shit. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna shoot basic shit. We all
for sure.
We all
you gotta
have to
get
do
those
it,
in.
You have to get those in. But like what I like is like at least once a month or so, like do a huge project. So like what I like to do is pick a song and like listen to it on repeat for a whole day when I'm editing or something, and get into that vibe of the song. And then from there, I'll build a whole project onto it. It's like Billie Eilish, right? Like that dark vibe, those black like paint and shit. And I do a shoot for that, and it's like
amazing.
It's just you like it because it's a full concept. It's not like some basic.
Definitely. Like, I also like kind of sparks your creativity.
For sure. Yeah.
If you're in a drought, like pretty much just do what you just said.
Yeah.
Wow.
And just keep pushing.
What else we've done? Like video wise.
We've done a bunch. I mean, I've dabbed in pretty much not everything, but like landscapes, interior design. I've done real estate stuff.
How's that?
I mean, I've done video for real estate, so it's not that bad. It's just
I'm shooting real estate buying stock.
Yeah.
The money's good because it's
for sure.
consistent, but
you can't really be creative.
I mean, if you're like an architect guy and you love the design, and for sure you'll love it. Like I love doing it because it's nice and clean. But like like if I'm doing this for 6 months, I'll be bored because it's just like the typical like commercial shots. Yeah. Well, like for real estate, there's like companies that are completely different in terms of like the actual branch itself, and they have like nice open spaces, not cubicles, and those are like the company like I'm working with contracted, and like those are fun to shoot with. Yeah. They're not like your typical like, oh, let's just shoot the indoors of this room and sell.
And that's a great thing about like freelancing too. Like you get to try a bunch of different stuff, and you're never just on a project for like more than 4 to 6 months at a time, kind of thing, right? You're shooting something. If you don't like it, cool. In like a few months, you'll be doing something else, kind of thing.
And like what I like is you get new like ideas or new understanding and
yeah,
right.
And then you can use that when you're shooting
Exactly.
something else. Like when I shot music, I kind of use those kind of not fundamentals, but like that kind of style and stuff when I shoot sports now. So it's kind of different than just like your newspaper shots.
Exactly. Like same thing with like landscapes. It's all about like the perfect like angle of like horizontal lines and all that stuff. And you can bring that into portrait, and it's more of like, okay, it's actually leading lines and like
Exactly.
You can mix it in, and you learn so much that way. I find
definitely shooting everything always ties into each other, no matter what you're shooting.
And then like try to cross match them
Exactly.
up, and then do stuff that people aren't doing.
yeah.
Which is cool. Yeah.
100%. Any other questions?
Would you guys ever move to Toronto? Or you guys like Ottawa?
I've literally been thinking about this just because we're staying here.
Yeah.
But
I know.
if I was gonna move, I'd have to have the money to move.
For sure.
And if I was doing it, I'd want to stay in something like this.
Mhm.
The only downside of it is that I want to travel a lot, so you're only here for certain periods of time. But yeah, like I wouldn't mind moving to Toronto. Maybe like if I was stuck in Toronto, I'd move here for like a year, stay in something nice, have the ability to shoot in it, do other stuff like that. Yeah, I'd probably move to Toronto for a bit.
Oh yeah. But when I said I would move to Toronto,
For sure.
include I would stay in Ottawa because it's cheaper.
And you guys can always come down to Toronto whenever like something.
Because
big
that's the
comes up.
goal is to like work with Toronto and Montreal because I'm French too, so I can actually get that whole market.
Yeah.
So when Ottawa gets like oversaturated with like commercial
You can
stuff,
go.
then I can like move over to Toronto for a couple
Yeah.
like jobs, go to Montreal and
Yeah.
like dabble around there, which is pretty cool to do. It's just Toronto's like it's a huge step. Like if you've always been in Ottawa and you come to Toronto,
It's
right?
a big
Like people are like,
Oh, that was me and him the first day. Literally got out of the Union Station and walked in a square. Didn't know what to do.
yeah,
It's like, where do we head?
where do we shoot? Yeah, exactly. Because we don't
It's
know,
just
right?
So much going on.
It's like when I went to London, England.
Yeah.
Oh, the streets are like 10 times worse. Like you cannot walk
Yeah.
without people running. It's like, oh man,
Lots of people.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
completely different vibe. You just gotta get used to it, and if that's what you like, you don't. Then
Yeah.
Small
Where are
cities.
some places you've traveled for photography?
So nothing like photography related, but I went to Bali last year with my family, which is pretty cool. Lots of photography opportunities there, like all the temples and waterfalls and like mountains and stuff like that. It's a really beautiful place. I would recommend going there. But I want to go to Greece kind of next year. Places in Europe and Asia too. Like I haven't done any traveling for photography, but those are some of my bucket list items for sure.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah.
Definitely Europe, because it's completely different than Western photography. Like,
yeah.
it is night and day. So if you can go over there and learn their style and mix it in and come back here,
Yeah.
not a lot of maybe in Toronto, but not a lot of people do what you do because you have that European style and you can incorporate it into like your sports.
Yeah.
Nobody, what the fuck is that? You're like, it's different. You're
Yeah.
like, oh shit, I should dig it.
It's
You know,
cool.
you never know.
Yeah.
What about, have you guys traveled for photography yet?
Next week.
Next
Yeah,
Going
you
north-
were from North
I'm
Carolina.
going North Carolina for a week.
That's
Yeah,
I have not yet.
yeah, not like
Not like crazy.
What's number one bucket list for
Like place to travel?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't even know. Like I kind of want to go to like somewhere like Bora Bora. Or
Yeah,
some
yeah.
like crazy tropical place.
Yeah.
Just go shoot a dope video.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah.
needs more like Europe
European,
style. I want to go
yeah.
like I've been to England, like Scotland, and all that.
Yeah.
I want to go like maybe Italy, just
Italy,
see that
Spain,
vibe,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely like do that, but
Yeah.
would probably be like Bora Bora.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just for
Why not? It's a beautiful
Yeah.
place. to
Got a
be
bunch
in.
of photographers, models, and literally just go make a movie.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Fire Fest.
No.
Did you guys watch the doc?
Yeah.
Fire Fest doc. Yeah, like the little promo they put together.
That would be horrible.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot for stopping by, man.
No problem. Yeah.
Thank you guys for stopping by and actually listening to this episode, not watching the video. Stay tuned for upcoming topics around the creative industry. If you'd like us to go over a certain topic or bring on a certain guest, let us know in the comments below. Shoot us a message at Born to Create Podcast. You can find me at acf.media.
FM.photography_design, longest username. You know,
And where can people find
And
you?
underscore KISHAN MISTRY on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah.
Everything will be linked in the description. If you haven't yet, make sure to go check out Game Winning Shot. Peace out, everyone. Stay woke.
have a good one, guys.
There we go.